Hello and welcome back. We are almost done our Mega Man block. I know, it makes me so sad too. But luckily, we have saved one of the best classic games for last. I was always a fan of this game growing up. And not just that, but through chat's generosity over the last week, we have upgraded this run from any percent all the way to 100%. So if that doesn't deserve some hype, I think the chat needs to get super hyped for that, because your generosity got us to here right now. And not just that, we have an amazing runner, Resistingframe, coming at us with Mega Man 6 for the NES, so I'm going to pass it on over, and they're going to take it away. Hey, what's up?
Alright, wow, finally some love for this game. Well, this game is very well not liked just because of a simple mechanic that I'll explain later on. Let me see, do I just start right away or do I have to like count down?
A countdown if you want, like a 3, 2, 1 or something.
Alright. So anyways, let's start first since this is going to be a little bit longer time and with the incentive. Alright, so we're going to start with the game. 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, didn't go through, my bad. Sorry about that, guys. I missed the key. But yeah, so we're going to start with the 100% for this one. And go. Ah. I don't know why my key's not working, guys. Little bit technical difficulties. Alright, now I fixed everything. Sorry about that. Alright, ready, and go. There we go. Alright, so now we can start finally. This game isn't very well liked for one simple reason, and it has a weird mechanic in the game. From all the other Mega Mans, you can actually just slide and jump out of your slide. But in Mega Man 6, you are not allowed to do that. So you either have to complete the entirety of your slide, or you have to do another jump. Do another jump or change direction. So with that being said, you kind of have to play with the stage a little bit, know when to slide cancel, when to do the full slides. You don't want to anticipate a full slide and then just slide off a ledge. So that's one of the things that tend to happen. And there are no sips in this game, sadly, that I know of, or that we have found out so far. So there won't be any like weird tech, sort of say, but there are some cool like little workarounds that I'll explain later on that revolve around Mega Man's charger, for instance. And we'll start over here. Alright. So we're approaching Windman, and you're gonna see me kind of go back and forth, and it's not for just dancing around. What happens is that I actually charge my buster, I'm not sure how many frames faster, by changing direction faster, side to side. So it's about like a frame or so faster, but you know, it kind of adds up a little bit. But right now I'm in an awkward position. There we go. Alright, so Windman left me in an awkward position there. Not a very good spot. But yeah, so by changing direction fast, I can actually charge my buster a little bit faster. And we're done with the first boss. And right away, we're gonna head to Flame Man stage. And this is actually where we get one of the most powerful weapons in the game. So we're trying to get one right from the get-go. And here we go. A lot of these stages are based off different countries. You can probably make your guess as to which country it is based like on the backgrounds and such. And here we go. Alright. So going on about Mega Man 6 and the 100%, there's actually there are actually no letters. Like, you do have to collect the letters, but they're not like items in the game that you can actually collect. What they've done for Mega Man 6 is that they've actually just made you like change the routes. So depending on which route you take to fight the enemy boss, is they'll give you a letter for that stage. So you won't be seeing me picking up anything extra except for the energy balancer. But you do get to see a little bit of different scenery if you're used to the 80% runs. So here, you guys want to be careful. These bosses here will actually light the oil on fire. And good thing we didn't actually get to see that, but they are instant kill. And so we moved on. So we're gonna use wind as a general weakness for Flame Man. We do want to not see all these jumps. They do waste a little bit of time, but going hitless is always a good thing. And we are going to move on. So we're moving on to Blizzard. And the thing about Blizzard is that it actually makes it harder to slide cancel with the directional button. So if you guys like are used to slide canceling, you cancel left instead of jumping again, it will whiplash you the other way around. So I will be using primarily A cancels for this one. Right, and it's a little bit tricky stage because there's a lot of intentional damage here and a lot of pitfalls, and you know, along with the ice, not really good. There you go. That part is always scary. You gotta kind of do a little slide cancel at the end and then jump out. And if you jump too high, you end up hitting the enemy and then falling to your death. Here we do a slide cancel, jump over, see if we can get an extra hit. No, didn't get my input in. Here normally you can try to go over the submarine in one cycle, but it's very difficult to do, and like I said, sometimes the sliding is really off, and you know, you kind of tend to fall to easy pits, but that was a pretty good alternative strat. And no, I will not go for bomb skip. You can actually duck under the last two bombs by getting like this hidden sub-pixel. It's not really hidden, it's actually like, it'll show a random, I would say more like random sub-pixel that actually allows you to slide under. And we don't want rolls, that's one roll. That's two. That's three, this is bad RNG. There we go. Alright, so 3 rolls is about average actually, I would say. I was contemplating going for bomb skip, but since we do have the incentive for hundo, it will add a little bit of time. So I definitely don't want to go overestimate. Alright, so we're up to Plant Man. Plant Man has one of the hardest stages, hardest parts of the game, I would say. And during that part, I will be quiet, but for now I will talk and just mention about an upcoming glitch that we're gonna do if the stars align. And so the glitch involves Plant Man, and we're gonna try to get into his hitbox while we take damage, and that actually allows him to kind of go haywire for a couple of laps. So instead of jumping around, he will just run back and forth, which will allow us to get like easy hits back and forth. So hopefully we get to see that later. we want to take care of these grasshoppers fast. They do tend to lag the screen. Alright, so upcoming is the hardest part. Now we'll stay quiet for this part. Psych. Alright, so that's pretty scary. Those plants forms that we call them, you're actually supposed to shoot them and they allow you to get on a platform. They make a platform for you to jump. But one of the weird game mechanics, I don't think I got the, we didn't get the minute, but we did get the plant forms, which is actually a close second. So the platforms have about 4 frames that you can actually jump on them. They give you a little bit of 4 frames of standing frames that allow you to jump. So you can actually jump on them and, you know, kind of cruise over instead of just shooting the platforms. So it's good to see that. This is where we actually start to change the route a little bit for the hundo. So we are going to pick up an extra item, which is called the energy balancer. It allows us to recharge our weapon energy without having to be on that specific weapon. So we do need to take a little bit of a detour, and as well as reroute back and then take another detour so we can get the beat letter. But overall, this stage is pretty straightforward. It doesn't have like any like dangerous pits or anything like that. But with the different route, with the hundo route, it does create a little bit of a hazardous end though. So we're gonna see how it goes. We're gonna try to one jump this. There we go. Alright, so normally we would take this top route, which is what we're gonna do. But we're gonna do something a little bit different, and we're gonna actually have a little cameo from somebody. And we have it here. So we have Proto Man giving us Proto Man giving us the oh, that was tough. Alright. That was really bad timing. So we just took that just for insurance, actually. I don't want to have a little bit of a mistake and, you know, have to go all the way back to the beginning, right? So just a little loss of time for that, but, you know. And there we go. So by fighting, like I mentioned before, for the hundo percent, there really isn't any change in like getting any extra items aside from the energy balancer, but we will have to change routes for every upcoming stage. For the last 4, well, last 3 now. No, it is last 4, right? Oh, last 3. I'm bugging out. Yes. The good news is though that for Yamato Man, the beat route is actually the same as the any percent route. So we're actually going to be making no changes for this one. Alright. Here we kind of have to be careful. Nice. We do have a cameo from a Mega Man 5 enemy here, but we dispatch him pretty quickly. For those that love Mega Man 5, a little bit of sight to see. There we go. We're gonna take some intentional damage boost here. Alright, so we're moving on to Yamato Man. Now, one of the interesting things about enemies, for the most part in Mega Man 6, is that they have two types of attacks. But for the most part, they will not use that attack more than twice. So we can actually at least somewhat predict the movement if we see the same attack twice. So you see we got the beat E parts here. And we're moving on to Nightman. Nightman, it tends to be kind of like a nightmare stage, really. I know it's a little bit wordplay in it, but there's this little ceiling in the beginning of the stage that really gives me trouble. And it gave me trouble in like marathon run settings too, so I might just be quiet for a bit and just let it ride. There we go. Alright, so that part gave me a lot of problems back then, but there's actually a way to do it without taking damage. But I guess taking intentional damage makes it easier, even though we do lose like a quarter of a second, so let's see. Alright, and we do need to double shot these things. Except for that one, because I missed. Ooh, that was close. Oh, that was close. That energy drop at the end. Alright, so to get the beat letter here, we are going to break it into this, and from there take a little bit of a boost. Alright, so there we go. So this will allow us to get the A. Oh, look at all these jumps. We don't want the jumps. Wow, he only wants to jump today. Alright. Oh my goodness. Is this Nightman or Grasshopper Man? Alright, so we're up to Centaur Man. And Centaur Man actually has like a little bit of hard part to it. Well, actually a lot of it is hard, but we want to try to do a miracle jump where we actually jump right before the ledge and get like a little bit of a different type of jump. There we go. We're gonna switch to Nightman right away. And as with any water stage, you kind of want to be careful not to overshoot your jumps. Nice, got both of them. Comes the hard part. We want to shoot, take intentional damage here, and there we go, jumping out right at the final frame with that jump, so we don't get caught. Ooh, this game is tough to talk and commentate at the same time. It's actually pretty fast paced with the inputs, considering how many times you have to like cancel and watch out for energy drops and all that, you know, shebang. I didn't need that. Alright, so we're actually going to switch to Jet here. And here we go. And alright, so one of the things that we learned about Centaur Man is actually that one of his second attacks is that he'll freeze the screen, he'll freeze time in this, I guess, in a sword, but he will not do that if either one of, you know, him or Mega Man is in iframes there when he pops up. So as long as we have damage inflicted or damage inflicted on them, then they won't flash. So we can at least control the flash, but we cannot control when they're gonna teleport. So that's one cool thing about it. And we're officially done with anything different from the Hundo run. Starting from this point on, it goes exactly the same as any percent. But I do have to be careful of all energy drops, because now with the energy balancer, picking up any energy will, you know, offset, you know, will pause me for a bit. So I have to be careful with that. We are about to take a secret entrance here. We're gonna switch to the POW. And I'm kind of gonna do a back and forth motion. You can kind of do a slight jump there, but it's such a big risk for like a little bit of you know, time gain, so not really a good marathon strat. And these grasshoppers, they jump randomly. And nice ladder jump there, first try. So when you jump off the ladder, I cannot jump off. When you get off, when you press down at the edge of the ladder, you actually have like a couple of standing frames. So you can actually like jump the very edge. And these bosses like die so quick. I don't even have time to explain for them, but yeah, so jumping off ladders at the edge, pressing down, I mean, will give you a couple of standing frames that you can actually jump back up and just, you know, a little bit faster if you can get it right the first time. And as I mentioned before, you see now all blue energies now are gonna end up filling up everything. So now I have to be mindful of my slides and making sure that I don't time it off a ledge, you know, I have to be very careful of the ledges, because then now I can be energy dropped, I guess you could say. Woo, that was close. The third Met turned around! A pot reference right there. There we go. Oh, that one's tough because it's so random, and it so the power piston tends to be random, and it tends to just go up and down. Sometimes it'll go up and then fake down and then go back up again, and you only have such limited ammo for the tomahawk for the later fights, so you definitely don't want to lose tomahawk when facing him. Especially you don't want to do this guy Buster only, so Buster only, he can be a bit of a rage inducer. So we're up to X3. You're gonna see me be in a lot of jet form here, but I do prefer to walk if possible. Walking is definitely a lot faster than just using the jet. And of course, anytime we can switch the slide, switch. Buster only and power percent. Power percent is an interesting category where we use punch man for just a variety for the majority of the game. It allows for some cool, you know, different ways to face these bosses, but the next two bosses, we're actually going to be using POW anyway on them, so that would probably be like the easiest part of the game if you're doing POW percentage. And we're moving on now to like the hardest stage of the game. This is X4, the hardest stage of the game. And it just reminds me of Purple Hell from Mega Man 2. I don't know why all like the stages here like that are the hardest in Mega Man have like a lot of purple on them. And this stage is primarily difficult because there's a lot of times where I actually have to manage my slide cancel by the ledges, very small ledges, and you have these birds chasing us, and some of them will take intentional damage like that, except for that part. Oh my goodness, my input. This game is known for sometimes eating your jump inputs. I'm not sure if it's like a mechanic that, you know, an oversight or something. I'm pretty sure like there's a dead frame upon landing where you can no longer woo! That was close. Oh my goodness. Alright, let me stop sliding for a bit. Because all these, I'm getting so many energy drops. Alright, so here we go. Nice, good fight. So here we see one of the reasons I play Mega Man 6 in English. You guys saw a spelling error there, failed D instead of failed. Forgot the E because we're too busy taking these E tanks from him. So he ran out of E's to use. Fail deep. Alright, on to Wily Stages. I can't believe Mr. X was Wily all along. Who would have thought? Like, this guy's a genius. Alright. So we have a secret room coming up. Now, what they don't tell you is that you actually have to start your jet propeller, like, before you reach the transition screen. So if you've never made it to that room, that's pretty much usually the answer there. You cannot just, like, start as soon as you can't even buffer it, you know? You have to start your jet right before the transition screen, and that will allow you to get enough you know, I guess propulsion to get there. Alright, now we're moving with Mechasaurus here. His hitbox is a little bit off, and we used to think it was just a hitbox, but I think we've come to discover this actually the way the Yamato spheres travel in. So I am just failing right now. So as you can see, I am getting some double shots in, but it's just based on how they travel and what frames they travel or something, the pixels and how it affects the hitbox and stuff. I don't know, but I think it's just based on how the Yamato spheres travel. And this is so complicated that I just never bothered to learn. I just try my best to hit, you know. that's the only way I can describe it. Coming up is another secret room here. You do need to time your jump and your shot at the same time. There we go. Alright, and we got a little bit of extra fire. So we can go with three mad nerds here. We got the 1, 2. There we go. And we switch to win on the last one. Oh, better yet, the last 2. And here comes the easiest boss in the game. We just use wind and it'll come up, and want to try to get it right as soon as it comes in, and it should be good. There we go. Alright guys, so we are approaching the refights. We are approaching the refights. And here we have to use the jets to our advantage to get like a little bit of let's switch here like this. There we go. Wow, we got a big raid coming in. Ow. Alright. So there's no particular order in which you want to do these bosses. Like, there's no like right or wrong. So we just do the easiest way, and we just go starting from the right. And I don't know, Blizzard Man is just not having it with us today. I think he just listened to too much Limp Bizkit and just keeps rolling. Jesus. Alright, same thing with Flame Man as the beginning. There we go. Finally something else other than jumping. Alright, for these next two fights, They are actually exact ammo fights, so I actually have to be careful and respect the iframes. That is rule number 1 when it comes to exact ammo fights. Respect the iframes. There we go. So I kind of have to be wary about my timing, because sometimes they do tend to jump at you and will kind of mess up your timing if you're like trying to you know, base it off distance. So there we go. 2 and 1 more. And here we're actually going to switch early. For some reason, if you get out of this stage and then press pause, it takes like a second longer to load the stage. We call it like the 1,000-year pause. So I don't understand why, but that happens. But we do avoid that just by switching inside the boss. And this is pretty good RNG, no teleportations. Alright, let's see. Wow, this Nightman is just like ridiculous with the jumping. Alright, I do want to be a bit careful and not use too much Tomahawk. We do need it for the bosses, for the main boss coming up. There we go. And we're gonna get to try one more time at boss Plant Manip. So we hope he jumps right. It's an easier setup if he goes right. If he jumps left again, I really apologize for not being able to do it, but let me see if I can. Yeah, we got it anyway. So you see how he kind of just goes wild for a bit? Instead of just jumping back and forth. So that allows us to get like 4 to 5 hits. And we're almost done. I'm gonna switch to Tomahawk here. You actually need to walk off the sledge. If you slide off the sledge, for some reason the game does not allow you to grab that energy. So just be mindful of that if you ever run this game. That it took me like like 10 minutes to figure it out. And we're up to the final boss. And I'm hoping I can stay just right under estimate. Let's see how it goes. We do get an early shot here. Oh, I missed it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so I don't think I can miss any shots from here. This is too far. Oops. There we go. There we go. Woo! Alright, Deathless, let's go!
Nice! Pulling off the deathless run in the marathon. Let's go.
Let's go.
Do you have any final things you want to say? Any kind of final shout outs or anything like that?
I just want to apologize if my voice seems a little bit off. I actually have COVID and I've been dealing with it like the whole week, so I didn't really get to put practice in as much as I wanted to, so you know,
The fact that you even put in the effort and did this is like incredible. Like, you just showed it a fantastic run.
Yeah, like I was actually like, my main goal was just like not to die, because
and you did it. You did the goal. Let's go.
Yeah, and for my 100%, I'm only like 20 seconds off my PB, so you know, for this category, so I guess it's pretty decent. But I'm just hoping that everybody enjoyed it. You know, I've been watching a lot of runners this whole week, and it's been an incredible time. So, you know, thank you for having me here, guys.
It's great having you. We hope you feel better. And thank you so much for closing out our Mega Man block.
Thank you so much, and woo, that was good to have Deathless always.
Yes, so good. So hold tight, chat. Tonight is not done just yet. We do have a showcase coming up. Ooh. And it's gonna be Beat Saber with Simply Azuma. So if you haven't seen this, you gotta see this. There's gonna be some incredible stuff coming up. So go stretch, get some food. We'll see you in a couple minutes. All right. Thank you again.